Folks, welcome back to Digital in Place. My name's Adam Beck. I'm also Managing Director of the consultancy Neo Urban. So we've got a big one today, a really important one, and one that I find not enough people know about. Big changes have happened in Australia's telecommunications landscape. For years, we've all known that the big three mobile network operators, Telstra, Optus, TPG, Vodafone, but in recent years, they've sold off large parts of their infrastructure assets. So what's emerged is a brand new sector now known as the MNIPs, or the mobile network infrastructure providers. Now, don't confuse them with the MNOs, which are the mobile network operators, Telstra, Optus, TPG. MNOs, they provide the retail service to you and me, where MNIPs, on the other hand, they own and manage the towers, the poles, and the other infrastructure that the MNOs rely on. This structural separation is reshaping how mobile connectivity is delivered across Australia. So, against this backdrop, the Australian government released in 2024 amendments to a voluntary policy that possibly many of you haven't heard about. It's called the TIND policy, TIND, telecommunications in new developments. This is the framework that sets out how telecommunications infrastructure must be planned, approved, and delivered in new housing estates, business parks, and other precincts. So what's changed with those updates? Well, let me give you three key shifts. Firstly, there's greater clarity on the role of MNIPs. The policy now recognises them as a critical player in delivering mobile coverage and digital connectivity alongside the fibre and the fixed line networks. Secondly, there's a stronger focus on early engagement and planning. Developers, councils, they're all being encouraged and in some cases required to lock in telecommunications arrangements earlier in the planning cycle. And third, this TIND policy, the amendment to it, now pushes harder on transparency and competition. The amendments are designed to avoid a single carrier monopoly in new developments, opening up opportunities for multiple service providers to serve those communities. It's no longer, back in the day, one pole for one mobile network operator, another pole for another. The MNIPs, essentially as independent operators of those assets, can have multiple carriers on one piece of infrastructure. This is really good news. So what does it mean for planners and especially local councils? One, expect more engagement with MNIPs. Councils will need to understand who's building and operating digital infrastructure in their developments and how to coordinate approvals and design integration. Two, digitally connected communities is now more explicitly a planning consideration. Just as we think about roads and drainage, open space, some of those core critical pieces of infrastructure, the TIND amendments elevate mobile and broadband infrastructure to the same level of essential service. And three, councils may find themselves mediating between developers, MNIPs, and MNOs to ensure communities aren't left with poor connectivity or lack of choice, which we are often seeing. For planners, this is a wake-up call. Connectivity isn't just a nice to have. It's a core piece of urban infrastructure. It just doesn't happen. It is not invisible. It is physical infrastructure that needs to be deployed, and there's a backlog. The TIND amendments mean that councils need to lift their digital literacy, review planning schemes, and build stronger relationships with this new MNIP sector. If you're a planner working in growth areas, this will shape how your communities access digital services, how resilient they are in emergencies, and even how attractive they might be to new businesses. Bottom line, the telco world is changing fast, and with the rise of these MNIPs and the new obligations under the 2024 TIND policy, local government and urban planners are now frontline players in shaping Australia's digital future. That is right. Local government and urban planners are now frontline players in shaping Australia's digital future. The question is, are we ready? If any of this sounded like you need some support, reach out to us at Neon Urban. Until next episode.